I watched Candyman and Candyman 2, Farewell to Flesh, and I'm going to give you my spoiler free thoughts. Candyman is about the Candyman, a murderous soul with a hook for a hand who is accidentally summoned to reality by a skeptic grade student researching the monster's myth. So I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't fully understand everything that happened in this film. In fact, after it, I read a synopsis. I usually do this for films just so I can make sure I fully understand everything. But that being said, I still didn't fully understand everything. But I still enjoyed this film quite a bit. I think the idea of Candyman is really interesting. I think Tony Todd's performance was awesome. And Vanessa Williams, the actor for Annie Marley, I believe is how you pronounce the name, is acting in particular. I think she did really good with this scene that was quite disturbing. I will say it's not nearly as gory as Hellraiser. I'm kind of comparing Hellraiser because both of them are based on stories by Clive Barker, both Hellraiser and Candyman. But I'm not trying to compare them too much. They're quite different, but some similarities obviously. But most of the kills in this film were off screen. The aftermath was shown for them. Like, it's not really a bad thing or anything. It's just an observation I had. I like the soundtrack in this film, and I will say I wasn't particularly scared, but there were a couple of scenes I did find kind of disturbing. I mean, it wasn't like pitch black when I was watching the film, so that could have impacted that. I also felt quite like invested in this film for like the majority of it. Like I said in the beginning, I don't fully understand this film, but I believe there is like a deeper meaning to it, which is nice. The other film I watched was Candyman: Farewell to Flesh. Annie, a young schoolteacher struggling to solve the brutal murder of her father, unwittingly summons the Candyman to New Orleans, where she learns the secret of his power and discovers the link that connects them. I don't have a whole lot to say about this film. I need to preface before I say anything, though, that I was tired when I watched this film. Honestly, I'm tired right now as I'm recording. But, according to a really short Google search I made, being tired can cause you to have a hard time focusing. And I think that's true because I had a really hard time focusing. But that being said, here are my thoughts. Only like three things I wanted to say about this film. I like how this film explains some of the questions and things that weren't answered in the first film, specifically the backstory with Candyman's explained a lot more, and I appreciate that. I don't know if they should have given away all that they did, maybe kept some things more vague or didn't really say everything. I also say there's a particular character who the actor, I just don't think his acting was that great in this film. I'm not the best at telling when acting is good or not, but I just didn't think his acting was that great. And like the other film, I like the soundtrack quite a lot, but I do remember being a little bit like, I don't know, not as interested when I listened to the soundtrack this time, but I don't exactly know why that's the case. Maybe it's just because I'm tired. I think that I'll give Candyman Farewell to Flesh probably like a 3 stars. I thought it was pretty good. I just had a really hard time focusing. My bad, I guess. I probably should have watched it when I had more energy. So those are my thoughts on the first two Candyman films. I have two left. I heard the third one's really bad, but I don't know. Sometimes I like films that are bad. And I'm also excited for the Candyman fourth film. It has pretty decent ratings, and hopefully I'll enjoy it. I would love to know your guys' thoughts on these films, as always, and please tell me any ways I can improve. And with that, I don't have much to say. Bye.